The story begins in a quiet countryside village in Austria, where we meet a 15-year-old girl named Simi. Simi is overweight and insecure about her body. With Easter approaching, she decides to spend a few days with her aunt, hoping to get help with her weight. But from the start, there's something unsettling about this visit. Simi's aunt, Claudia, is a well-known author who used to write about health and nutrition. Her books are all about food, fasting, and clean living. She lives far away from the city, in a remote and isolated house surrounded by forests. Throughout the film, we only see 4 characters, which makes the atmosphere feel even more closed in and intense. When Simi arrives, Claudia greets her warmly. She seems happy to see her niece, and for a moment, everything appears normal. Claudia lives with her son Philippe, a quiet and strange teenager, and her new partner, Stefan, a serious and fit man who isn't very welcoming. Philippe's biological father left long ago, and Claudia has since married Stefan. Simi had planned to stay for a week, but Claudia informs her she can only stay 4 days because they celebrate Easter privately. Simi is surprised and asks if her visit is a problem. Claudia reassures her that it's not, but Easter is a personal ritual for their family, and having a guest might make things feel off. She also tells Simi that she'll need to share a room with Philippe, which Simi doesn't mind. Later, Simi calls her mom. Although she doesn't say it out loud, she didn't just come here to visit. She's secretly hoping her aunt can help her lose weight, but she's too shy to admit it yet. That evening at dinner, Simi meets Philip and Stefan properly for the first time. Both of them seem strange in different ways. Simi quickly senses that Stefan doesn't like Philip, and it's obvious why. Philip isn't his real son. When Claudia serves the meal, she lovingly cuts Philip's meat into small pieces, even though he's perfectly capable of doing it himself. It feels odd to Simi, but she stays silent. She also noticed Stefan and Claudia weren't eating anything. When Simi asks if they're religious, Claudia dodges the question. But it's clear they're preparing for some kind of fast. Over time, we understand that Simi is deeply insecure about her weight. She wants to be slim and attractive like other girls. Claudia, being a health expert, seems like someone who could help. But Simi hasn't told her this yet. That night, things grow more uncomfortable. Philip is rude and unfriendly toward Simi. Later, his mother comes in to say goodnight and even checks his phone, showing how tightly she controls him. Around midnight, Simi wakes up and hears strange sounds coming from Claudia's room. When she peeks inside, she sees Claudia and Stefan being intimate. The next morning, Simi takes a walk near the forest. She stumbles upon a small wooden structure and finds a bag inside. Curious, but not alarmed, she returns to the house. Claudia and Philip are still sleeping, but Stefan is already up, working out. Simi is surprised to see how fit he is, especially for a man his age. He looks more like a young athlete than a stepfather. Later, after her shower, Simi returns to her room and finds Claudia unpacking her belongings. Among them is one of Claudia's old books. Claudia is both surprised and pleased. "You've read my book?" she asks. Simi smiles and says, "I've read all of them." That evening, Simi notices Claudia and Stefan looking tense. When she asks what's wrong, Claudia says Philip has run away. They think about calling the police, but decide to search for him themselves. Eventually, they find Philip with Stefan and bring him home. Claudia is clearly relieved to have him back. That night, Claudia talks to Simi privately. She says if Simi really wants to lose weight, she'll help. Simi agrees. At dinner, Claudia makes a delicious meal, but only serves it to Philippe. When Simi reaches for food, Claudia gently stops her. For the next 4 days, she explains, Simi must fast. It's a cleansing step before the transformation. Simi is surprised. She wasn't expecting such a strict rule, but since she's already committed, she agrees. The next day, Simi watches Philip closely. He's quiet, nervous, and withdrawn. She starts to wonder if Stefan might be mistreating him. Later, while throwing away leftovers, her hunger nearly gets the better of her, but she resists and walks away. That night, Claudia checks her weight and says she'll monitor her daily now. Take this seriously, she warns. Break the rules and I'll stop helping. Simi promises to follow through. Claudia seems satisfied, but when Simi returns to her room, she finds a dead mouse on her bed. She calls Claudia, who calmly removes it. Too disturbed to stay there, Simi decides to sleep on the couch. She begins to suspect Philip. He always carries odd things, and the mouse's head was cut off, something he could have done. Later that night, Stefan talks to Simi. He tells her she looks beautiful and doesn't need to lose weight. The way he says it makes her uncomfortable, so she quietly walks away. 3 days go by. Simi hasn't eaten, only water. At breakfast, she watches Philippe eat while she stays silent, starving. That day, Claudia calls her in, furious. She found a chocolate wrapper in Simi's bag and accuses her of cheating. Simi says it isn't hers. Maybe Philip planted it. Claudia doesn't believe her, but gives her one final warning. Break the rules again, and I'm done helping you. That evening, Simi notices bruises on Philip's face, like he's been hit. When she asks Claudia, she casually says he fell. But Simi suspects Stefan. Philip stays silent, making it hard to know what's really going on. At dinner, only Philip eats, lovingly fed by Claudia, while Simi struggles with her growing hunger. Later, Claudia gives Simi a stone pendant. When you feel hungry, she says, touch this. It'll help. Her tone is gentle, but her calm intensity feels quietly unsettling. Still uneasy about the dead mouse, Simi decides to sleep on the couch again. But Claudia insists she use her room, saying she has work to do. Curious, Simi tries to peek at Claudia's notebook, but Claudia quickly closes it. People don't like complicated truths, she says. Maybe that's why my books stopped selling. She hints at having ancient knowledge. Back in her room, hunger keeps Simi awake. She sneaks downstairs to find food, but runs into Stefan. In a terrifying moment, he tries to get close to her. Panicking, Simi stabs him with a knife. Then she jolts awake. It was only a dream. Still shaken the next morning, she checks the fridge. In her dream, it was empty. Now it's fully stocked with food. It's now the 5th day of Simi's stay. As usual, only Philippe is served breakfast. She silently watches him eat, her hunger almost unbearable. Later, Stefan announces he's going hunting. Claudia asks him to take Philip along, and Simi quickly asks if she can join too. Claudia doesn't object. The three head into the woods to hunt rabbits. Philip isn't very skilled, but he manages to shoot one. The animal is wounded and twitching in pain. Stefan hands Philip a knife, telling him to finish the job. But Philip freezes, too afraid to do it. Stefan grows frustrated and yells, but before things escalate, Claudia arrives. She quietly takes the knife and slits the rabbit's throat without hesitation. Back at the house, Stefan tells Philippe to finish what he started. Clean the rabbit. Philip becomes upset, feeling humiliated that Simi witnessed it. When she tries to comfort him and asks if Stefan ever hurts him, Philip surprises her. Stefan's an idiot. I'm not scared of him, he says. I'm scared of my mother. She's the one who'll really hurt me. Simi is shocked. Claudia always seemed caring. She tells Philip he's wrong, that Claudia clearly loves him, but Philip insists. You don't know her? It's all fake? That night, Simi confronts Claudia about what Philippe said. Claudia breaks down in tears and says her son is mentally unwell. He's run away from home several times, and the police don't even help anymore. He manipulates us, she says. He's tearing this family apart. Moved by Claudia's emotional breakdown, Simi starts to feel sympathy. Maybe Philip is just troubled. As usual, Claudia goes to Philip's room to give him a goodnight kiss. After she leaves, Philip turns to Simi and says, "See? She hates me." Holding a knife, he whispers, "One day I'm going to kill her." But this time, Simi ignores him. The next morning, Simi spots Claudia burying something in the backyard. Later, when she checks the spot, she finds a doll and a photo of Philippe. It looks like a ritual. Dark, intentional, possibly dangerous. Disturbed, Simi secretly calls her mom and tells her what she found. Her mother admits Claudia believes in spiritual stuff like witchcraft, but says it's harmless. She wouldn't hurt anyone. Then she asks, "Do you want me to come get you?" Before Simi can answer, Claudia walks in, forcing her to hang up the call quickly. Later that night, Simi sneaks into Claudia's private notebook, the one she's been writing in. What she finds is terrifying. Drawings of demonic symbols, dark rituals, and disturbing passages about children being prepared for something. Now, Simi is sure of it. She's not safe here anymore. From the very first day, Simi had felt something was off in this house. Now, with days of starvation piling up, her hunger was becoming unbearable. At dinner, she finally breaks. She begs Claudia to let her eat, just a little. But Claudia refuses. When Philip tries to support Simi, Claudia slaps him across the face. The tension explodes, and Simi decides she has to leave. That evening, she secretly shares her escape plan with Philip. She's already stolen a key, and they agree to leave at 7 a.m. the next morning. But when Simi wakes up, it's already 8. Philip is gone. She runs to the front door. It's wide open. He left without her. Now Claudia and Stefan seem tense. Tomorrow is Easter, and everything has to go perfectly. Simi tells Stefan she wants to go home. He agrees and calmly tells her to pack her things. While getting ready, Simi sends one last text to Philippe. In response, he sends her a photo flipping the middle finger. Angry and hurt, Simi changes her mind. She decides to stay for Easter. Claudia is pleased. Simi's followed all the rules for nearly a week, and now she's staying for the final ritual. That evening, the family sets the dinner table outside in the backyard. Stefan lights torches around them, while Claudia prepares an elaborate feast. When Simi finally tastes the meat, it's unlike anything she's ever had. It's rich, tender, and strangely delicious. Too delicious. That night, Simi can't sleep. Restless, she looks under her bed and finds Philip's knife. She's shocked. Why would he leave it there? She opens the photo Philip had sent earlier and studies it again. Something doesn't sit right. She remembers seeing an axe like the one in the photo back at the farmhouse. Curious and suspicious, she decides to check for herself. When she reaches the shed, her worst fear is confirmed. Philip is there, but he's dead. His body has been mutilated, chopped apart, and suddenly, everything clicks. The meat she ate during Easter dinner, the one she thought was unusually delicious, was Philip. His own parents had killed him and served him. Simi is frozen with horror. She starts crying uncontrollably. Just then, Stefan appears, but instead of guilt, he calmly comforts her. "It's okay," he says. "You've been brave. There's nothing wrong with what happened. I'll take you home now. You won't tell anyone." Pretending to go along, Simi agrees, but she's already slipped Philip's knife into her hand. When Stefan lets his guard down, she stabs him repeatedly and runs into the forest. Bleeding and enraged, Stefan grabs a gun and calls out to Claudia to help him. They both begin searching for Simi in the woods. Simi, weak from days without food, stumbles through the trees until she reaches the same wooden hut she discovered earlier. Inside, she finds gasoline. Claudia arrives and tries to calm her. She begs Simi to stop, saying everything they did was for a purpose, but Simi refuses to listen. Suddenly, from behind, Simi throws gasoline on Claudia and sets her on fire, burning her alive. By morning, Simi reaches the road and finds their car, but Stefan is already waiting, badly wounded. He hands her the gun and dares her to shoot. Simi doesn't. She lets him suffer, consumed by his own guilt and pain. And this is where the film comes to an end. The title, Family Dinner, sounds harmless, but it actually refers to a horrifying ritual. Its literal meaning isn't just about a meal, it's the final stage of horror, where both family and dinner are turned upside down. It's a twisted ritual where family members themselves become the prey. Claudia is obsessed with having a perfect body. For her, losing weight isn't just about health, it's about control and sacrifice. She treats Simi harshly, using emotional pressure disguised as discipline. The film shows how society pushes unrealistic beauty standards and how far people can go to achieve them. The story takes place around Easter, where it's revealed that Claudia and her boyfriend are part of a pagan ritual. They believe sacrificing and eating someone will give them beauty and renewal. Claudia plans to use Simi as that sacrifice, both symbolically and literally. It's a dark twist on the idea of self-help and transformation. Claudia pretends to be a caring mother figure, but it's all manipulation. She gains Simi's trust only to use it against her, showing that even love and family can be used for control and abuse.